Conspiracies, government cover-ups, Earth mysteries, monster cryptids.
Hospital Porter's Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order. Welcome to HPANWO TV. Welcome to this, the 97th reply to comments video. This is the video in which I get to reply to your comments. The reason I make these videos is because I don't have time to reply to all your comments by text. Although I feel obliged to reply in some way because I appreciate your feedback. I think you do me a favour and you do me an honour and I think a courtesy when you tell me what you think about this video, and I think it's only fair that I should do the same in return. Some of your comments are very long and thought out and require quite a long response. However, I just don't have time otherwise. This is why I make these videos. Now, you may think to yourself, what's the point of making a video to reply to my comments? I mean, I'm not going to watch a 9-hour video just to hear you reply to my comments. Well, you don't have to. You don't have to watch a 9-hour video for two reasons. Firstly, there'll be a timestamp underneath the comment I'm replying to. So I'll tell you when I'm going to reply within the nearest hour when I'm replying to the comment I'm replying to. Secondly, my reply to comments videos are not 9 hours anymore. They used to be, but they're a lot shorter now because I do them more often. Another reason is I enjoy doing these reply to comments videos, and you guys, the viewers, you seem to enjoy watching them. I know a lot of you watch them all the way through. They're quite popular. They have high viewing figures, and so a lot of you enjoy them. So that's why I do it. And so, with no further ado, let us get on to the comments, which were left since I made the last reply to comments video. And of course, we have first of all Coda on reply to comments 96. Gold, all bow-leggedy and baptizy in gold foley hat loads. Deep joy. Yes, indeed, Coda. Your gold foily hat load is on its way to your gold foily hat load is in the postie to you now. Yes. All right. Hugo has left me a timestamp here with. No, it's not a timestamp. It's a YouTube video, which is. Let's have a look. Oh, what's this? I'll show it to you. It's called Racing Cars. They shoot horses, don't they? And this is a song. Thanks. Is this one of your? Is this your? Is this a particular song you like? That's nice. Cool, mate. I'll play it on the HPANWO show, as your request. Right, 96. Nothing as it seems. In reply to Biospirit and Scottish ancestry, the Cherokee were primarily only accepting of Scottish men entering their territory and marrying their women. Oh, really? I see. So these Cherokee, this Amerindian tribe, had a particular affinity for Scottish men, did they? All right. Wonder why that was. Maybe there's a connection there in the Jungian archetypes or something. Same video, Ravenhill, the Cryptic of 1968, says, "Good evening, Ben. Just been watching a video by Steve Attridge on YouTube. Just wondered if you'd heard of Steve and what your thoughts about his topics." So, excuse me. Steve Attridge. Who's he? Let's have a look. Steve Attridge. Alright, this is this guy. Let's have a look. Steve Attridge. Not heard of him. London is dying. Long live London. Islam taking over. St. George, Tommy Robinson in Islam. Why Tommy Robinson matters. The British nation, war in Islam. Looks like political commentary. Not heard of him, but I'll resisting the day of jihad. I'll have a watch of it. He sounds to me, based on the video titles, like a counter-jihadist. And as you know, I'm not a counter-jihadist. I don't agree with them. But I will have a watch what he has to say. I'm always interested to hear new ideas. Definitely. Right. Hugo Rune says, "Thank you for the education on my history. Honestly, I was ignorant. Thank you. Genuine thanks." Oh, thanks very much, Hugo. Well, I'm not an expert, but, all I've got my information from is basically various public sources, like, like Britain AD and Britain BC. Very interesting videos. Definitely very interesting things, definitely. We have here Dogman Barons. Never heard of you. Welcome, Dogman, in 96. Formerly the Manchester Dogman. Oh, it's you, right? It's you. Say, I know you. Yeah. Thank you for taking the time to answer all of our comments, Ben. You are consistently entertaining. Always watching from the Wolf's Lair. Oh, thank you very much, Dogman. Dogman Barons, formerly the Manchester Dogman. Mark B. Ninth says, "Hi mate, good message from the Suffolk Catman." Cats and dogs living together. Oh, right. Do you know that guy? Do you know Jamie Atkinson, Dogman? Do you know him? He was appeared at Weird Weekend North. I interviewed him on the channel. He researches real dogmen sightings. Yeah. Coda says, now there. The reunity with an old chum loader is all classifold. Stamp it there. Don't tell the vicar unless you want the golfy clubbage with the cartload or ram it up the bocus. I don't. Oh no. Oh dear. Yeah. Sorry. We don't want him slaughtering us, do we? Yes. I must keep quiet about that little secret, mustn't I? Hugo Rue, is a timestamp, 1:30 onwards. Thanks. What's this? This is on Oxford Graffiti 7. I thought poutine is a Canadian food made with gravy, fries and cheese. Ask Trevor next time you speak to him. Yeah, well, poutine. I know poutine is that because... Oh, you're welcome. You are welcome, Hugo. You're very welcome. Tessa1111 says, Liberace died on the 4th of February 1987 of AIDS. Yeah, I know he did, Tessa. I know. That's... well, I just call him that because he plays the piano. He plays the piano all the time. Funny, if he's been... Since people have been talking about him, he's come back. He came back during the middle of the HPANWO show on Thursday. Yeah. That's interesting. So he suddenly replied. Yeah. Dr. Keith says, your reply video is still way too long. Well, go and watch another one then, idiot. Neil says, you're not required to watch all of it. Thank you. Thank you, Neil. And Zigstar says to Neil, yes, you are, if you posted 3+ comments that will reply to every hour in the video. Oh, Zigstar, what an ordeal. And Neil says, no one is forcing you to watch it. Zigstar said, I never said it was mandatory to watch, but given the above scenario and you wanted to listen to your reply, then you would have to watch most of the video. Oh, dear. Zigstar. What an ordeal. What a nightmare to have to endure. Neil says, well, knowing the reply to comments videos quite well, it's actually for a lot of people on Ben's channel an entertaining free evening of Ben giving his opinion or answering questions. Thank you, Neil. That's right, yes. It's not just for you, Zigstar, or you, Dr. Keith. Didn't I block you, or try to block you? If you are, I'm going to do it. David Yorkshire says on reply to comments 96, you're right. Appearing on the BBC is a mug's game. They can edit the footage to show things the opposite that they were and have done so. An example would be showing the miners throwing stones at the police before their cavalry charge into them at the Battle of Orgreave during the miners' strike in 1984. Interesting year, yes. They had, of course, reversed the footage, and in reality the police charged first, as they were instructed to go on the offensive by Thatcher's government. No, that's right, David. Yeah, there's a lot, huge. It's nothing new. The kind of this kind of distortion is nothing new. I've made a video since I made this last video about it. Of course, my Mablethorpe talk. And Dave says, no, CERN did not do a special experiment on Eclipse Day. It was already up and running. The Eclipse Day experiment was a story made up and sold to conspiracy theorists by the Daily Mail. Therefore, Higgs's death on the 8th of April is neither here nor there. I covered that one on my channel. All right, well, if that's wrong, David, it's wrong. Fair enough. But I still do wonder about I just do still think he says neither here nor there. I still think it's interesting that he happened to die during this amazing eclipse. I don't know. Coincidences happen, of course. Of course, there's a 365 to 1 chance you dying on any day. But anyway, I'll check that video out on your channel, David. Reply comments 96.6 and Neil Peel says, my wife's daughter saw a ball lightning rolling down the road in Portland in the 90s. Oh my God. See, they do happen. They're quite rare, but they happen, and no one really can explain them. No one knows exactly why that happens, but they do. Gary Robinson, hey Gary, how you doing? In regard to our discussion about making music with old computers, I think it was David Splendid Isolation who said that the Atari ST had a better MIDI than the Commodore Amiga. Well, that's not strictly true. The Amiga used external MIDI interfaces which were more powerful than the one built into the Atari ST. I released quite a few tunes on vinyl made by connecting my Amiga MIDI interface to a Kenton MIDI through box, which was connected to all my synths. D-Light and Urban Shakedown were also using an Amiga. Great story about your mate programming music on the Spectrum. In terms of advances in music tech, the biggest leap, of course, has been the jump to VST technology, which has pretty much reached its limits with the quality of plugins from companies like Arturia and Native Instruments being a real game changer. Wavetable synthesis has also been a game changer, allowing for the creations of sounds that couldn't previously be made. Despite all these cool advances, AI poses a great threat to music composition and production. Cheers. It does indeed, Gary, and I didn't quite understand all the technical details you gave there, but I'm sure that it's always interesting to hear these sorts of things. I'm sure, it's challenged me to learn. I mean, just look at any of you watch Ashton Forbes. Just take a look at the songs he's producing about MH370. You know, I played it. I played one on my show. That's the sort of country and western one. You know, planes are meant to fly, planes they ain't supposed to fall from the sky. Yeah. So it's amazing. You just literally can just give them some lyrics, and they'll just write a song for you. They can even compose lyrics sometimes. Yeah. Mark B says on 96, Glory be, another good listen, as the planes have not trailed the sky over East Anglia until the sun is out today. Plus, it's Friday evening as I listen to this. One more sleep before pub night and the bar of reason. Ah, yes. Well, I'm glad to have given you something to enjoy your Friday night there. 96. GTFO, they're obviously man-made. I suppose he thinks the pyramids off the coast of Japan are natural as well. Who are you talking about, Mark? And what is man-made? Do you mean the things that Flint Dibble was talking about? Is that what we're talking about, Graham Hancock? Because he believes the Yonaguni pyramids are real. Those structures that are off the coast of Japan. Oh, excuse me. Mark B says on 96, you do realise we are all subconsciously learning Unwinese? 6 months from now, and we will be speaking it on here. Oh my goodness me, how huffalo-dowder that is. And Coda says, shh, it's an infill trail replacing most of the New World Audit. Control the wordage, control the people-ode, oh yes. Exactly, Coda is Unwinese is the Newspeak. You know, it won't be a Newspeak dictionary, it'll be Unwinese. You know, so double plus ungoodloader. Alan McBride says on 96, great show as always, Ben. Thanks, good sir. You're welcome, Alan. You're welcome. And Coda says on 96, well there, portly Ben Loader, all pridely dignified. You know me for long spacey tie-load, and I remain a staunchly mumblingite. Oh yeah, of course. Oh yes. Oh yes. I can't believe it by any streel of the myload that the UFO rotary discus all trotty trickly how across the sky bowl to the earthly bow, then whoops bangy and falollop it down all spiraload into the groundy and blow it up to smithereekers. Now, does that sound credible? There's a thought for you. Oh yes, it's very credible, Coda. Yes, credible. It's very credible. Yeah, they do crash into the groundy and blow it up. Yeah, they do. Whoops, bangy, like in Roswell and places like that. Popcorn Boxing says this is video ban 10. Ouch, it's ban after ban. Yes, I wonder when it's going to come to an end. Yeah, David Yorkshire. I hope the rest of your content remains safe and effective, Ben. Thanks, David. Yes, it's very safe and effective, and you should be taking it every day. Every time there is a new strain, I bring out a new video. Della Farrence, you could do a Brazil watch party. Yes, good idea, Della. Della says, I love the very end of this video. I can't remember how did I end this one. I can't remember how I ended it exactly. I think I might have made a joke of some kind. Hang on, here we go. I've had a video. You know, it's not like it's maybe the real world, the real evil in this world, or the real New World Order is going to be more like Brazil than 1984. Not for 3 or 4 days. I'm going on
All right.
Monday, or was it Sunday? Well, I'm coming back on Wednesday. I know that, and I'm going to be speaking at the Mablethorpe group about the.
That's right. I was advertising the Mablethorpe group. Yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, Della. Maybe we should do. Brazil is a film worth examining. Actually, yeah. Neil Kramer did a good Bed Ice interview about that. I remember. It's an extraordinary thing, actually. Yeah. David Yorkshire. The term "banality of evil" comes from Hannah Arendt. We actually reviewed Brazil a few years ago. Right. So there's a timestamp here. I think this is what's this here? Oh, it's David's. Yes,
Hello
David's
and
thing.
welcome to episode 26 of Mjolnir the Movies. This week,
Oh, here it is.
because
Yeah. Oh, I haven't subbed to you. Yeah. This is Mjolnir is his magazine. It's David's magazine. Oh right, 70th anniversary of 1984. I did went to Brazil. We look at this dystopian satire. Oh, good. Yeah. Right, you are. It is. It's really good. I'll check, David. I'll watch that. Thank you. I'll watch that video. I'll watch that video. I'll watch what you have to say there. Thank you. But I'm glad you did review it, because it is an extraordinary thing. Maybe we should do a watch party about it. Yeah, it was actually Morgoth mentioned that the banality of evil. I don't know if he credited Hannah Arendt about it, but he did. He made a video. Well, I think he called it the banality of evil. I think anyway. Yeah. The Crafty Nihilist says on Video Band 10 to tune. Yeah, that was me singing. I always provide the music to my Video Band series myself. No AI, it's just me, because that way I can't get a copyright strike. Yeah. Wayne Model Builder says on Video Band 10, I know the feeling, Ben. I started a scale model channel for personal reasons as a distraction from a divorce. I pay for and use an editing app, and I'm licensed to use the music. For 9 months it was all okay until last week, and now every single video and every single song on the video gets a copyright. I fight it and it gets overruled, but then they copyright strike it the next video, and so it continues. I'm forever fighting the claims. Yet for 9 months it was all okay. YouTube is becoming a joke. It is, isn't it? It's becoming surely the most user-unfriendly website on all of the entire damn world of social media. I mean, it's incredibly. They will stop to think and say, "Look, what are we doing here? What on earth are we doing? What are we doing to our customers?" They seem to have lost their minds. Dr. Keith says on Video Band 10, Ben, you must be a targeted individual. Cheer up with a can of cheap lager and pork pie. I'll try, Dr. Keith. I'll try. In fact, I am cheered up, but it just annoys me when that happened, and I have to keep talking about it. Right, Video Band 10. Coda says, it may be your partly part-load M. Peeler anal Lisa Dribblode. What? M. Peeler anal Lisa Dribblode. M. Peeler. Oh, and anal Lisa Dribblode. Annalisa Dodds. Anal Lisa Dribble. Your partly part-load M. Peeler. Yes, my M. Peeler MP. Annalisa Dodds. That's the Shadow Women's and Equality Secretary. Yeah, she's our MP here in East Oxford. Yeah. You have it a probload with and stalky most your contail. Well, I have a problem with her. Yeah, she's horrible wokey, but I'm not stalking her. Is she stalking me? I mean, has she decided to rid her constituency of undesirables and conspiracy theorists? Oh, he says it. I was in communicale with her on your behalf. Oh, God. All asking for her OnlyFans for you as a birthday surprise there. Asking for her OnlyFans access as a birthday surprise. That would be a booby prize, that would, I'll tell you. She gave it some resisti and Huffalo Dowder. I bet she was Huffalo Dowder, I bet you. At the Questy Ho. Can't imagine why. Oh, dearie me, my goodness, Coda. I'm surprised you're not in prison for sexual harassment. Say Video Bands 10. Tessa says,
Trust me, this purging happens several times during one's lifetime. It's normal, dang it. Sorry you're going through this mercurial retro. Oh, it's a... Yeah, I mean, that was 2 weeks ago. Would you imagine, is there still a Mercury retrograde? I had the most terrible technical problems with the HPANWO show actually on Thursday. It was really bad. Not my rabbit hole with Terry Joyce. Hey Terry, how you doing, darling? You alright? Hoping to see you next week. I'm sorry to hear that this nonsense is happening to you. I have my own YouTube woes today. I know I've been watching your channel, yeah. Hope you get them sorted, Terry, I really do. Angela Kenyon says on Video Bans 10, here we go, same old YouTube. Ben, I'm surprised they haven't taken your channel down completely with 10 banned videos. God is with you, love your videos. I understand completely about personal conflicts. Yes, I feel you're right. It's a purging. Thanks, Angela. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of like, because I've had a lot of fallings out lately. I've fallen out with several people, including my dad's girlfriend, and it does feel like a purge. It really does. It's weird. It's very strange feeling. Video Bans 10. Neil Peel Paranormal Peep Show. I blame it on the solar flare. I missed the Northern Lights last night. The photos look spectacular, but does it mean the Triffids have arrived? Yeah, I mean it's exactly. You've got to be careful because in that book, the Triffids, and you might have seen the movie. There's a movie on YouTube. There's a guy whose eyes are damaged and he has to have them bandaged, and everyone else loses their eyesight because these flares are so bright. These solar flares are so bright, and but he's spared. He can see as a result. Yeah. Mark B says, we were in the pub, thus missed them, but the photos received show them clearly over Ipswich. Amazing. All right. Yeah, they were seen as far south as the equator, in other words, the entire planet. I tried to go out and look for them and couldn't find them. I went to the little green space by the Oxford Science Park. I looked up in the sky for a while, and I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. But we're in the solar maximum, we may get another opportunity. Video Band 10 says, so that's the video, and Mark B says, YouTube will eat itself in the end, let's face it. We use it because Google have the monopoly, and so the alternatives do not fall readily to hand. Well, yeah, I think Google's monopoly is going to be broken on certain subjects because they're turning against the discussion of certain subjects, so the people who believe in, who want to talk about those subjects will move elsewhere. This is what I mean about the internet splitting into two. Sure, the good side will be a minority, but it will be more interesting. Mark continues. Complicit in the Divorce 91 lies... Sorry, Divock 91 lies being the most plain to see. I don't understand that. I hate YouTube and Google. I look forward to the day I can dance on their graves. It will happen, just not yet. But the tide has turned, and they are on borrowed time. I think YouTube and Google are going to be consigned to the, what is it Niall Murphy said, the land of MySpace at some point. Yeah. Oh, we have Coda on a really old video now. This is actually the only. It was a 5-part video I made in the days when you can make video replies in different parts. And unfortunately, I had to delete all but the last part. And Coda says here on it, Ufology Academy, all high brainbocker there. Yes, it is an academy after all. Yeah. Oh, there's going to be one this year as well. I've just had an ad from the UFO Academy for their conference. It clashes with ASAP. Oh, and I've already agreed to go to ASAP. Oh dear. There's only so many weekends in the year. You can't. Things are always going to clash. Ufology Academy, all hein Braybocker there. These pedal piffaloaders never give it any tangible substance. Oh, you sound like Steve Mumbling old. You are a Steve-O Mumblingite, aren't you? Yes. Oh no, it's a steam it dollop and payload. Absolute rubbish. I'm sure there's an AI program that can make Steve Mumbling speak Unwinese. That's what you just saw there, I think. Video Band 10. TK UK. Tut you naughty. Not allowed. Not you sound like Charlie Veach. Not allowed. Chase the naughty Ben. Keep YouTube free from all the ghosts. Thanks, TK. Crazy Plane Lady update. Joshua says 100% reptilian. I think that's what she saw, something like that. She saw something very strange. That's for certain. Yeah. I mean, I'll be going on a plane in a couple of days. I'll keep an eye out for what I can see as well. Yeah. Assange extradition hearing a high live stream. Joshua says the guy shouldn't even be in jail. Should he really? No, he shouldn't. I mean, he shouldn't have been treated like this. It just goes to show when you get castigated for telling the truth. That's what happens. You know, you get into terrible trouble for telling the truth and for revealing secrets that the government are trying to keep from people against our best interests. I mean, all he did, he exposed the government committing an act of gross negligence. You know, and how is this? It's not about, they say, oh no, but he breached national security. He exposed them. He exposed them trying to cover up a military blunder that resulted in the deaths of about 5 people. That's what he did. Ooh, yeah, anyway, if film review, new video. Angela Kenyon says, first one watching, 40 seconds into posting the video, Ben. Oh, well done, Angela. And Coda says, all Daffy Kale and Doffy Cap and Postrail there. Yes, Coda. You get the silver, don't you? The silver load, the silver hattie load. Yes, foily hattie load to you. Israel Diego Rivera, Genius 2, the real genius, says, the Barry Norman of ufology and paranormal. That was a very moving review. Thanks, Diego Rivera. Yes, I am. And why not? Yes. I am the Barry Norman. Although Barry Norman just sits in his comfortable studio on a swivel chair, whereas I actually go to the cinema. Coda says, silver this tie load. Oh, right. Oh, yes, you do get silver, mate. Yes, you do. You put your reply to Angela was the second comment. Same video. Nothing as it seems says, unbeknownst to me, the ULEZ zone in London was given the go-ahead by the then current mayor Boris Johnson about 2015. Hardly a force against the New World Order, would you say? Nah, he's shown his true colours now. Nothing, definitely. Same video. Nothing says, these 2 little girls were giggling. My wife explaining to me that a deja was taking place. That's in deja vu, DEJA, was taking place at that moment by one or perhaps both of them. My thought was that the giggling was because their cup runneth over at the experience. Life can be so strange. Right, I don't know what you're talking about specifically there. Nothing. Tessa says on if perhaps old age brings back the invisible friend phenomenon, especially if dead singers and actors seem to return, asking, "Please don't forget me," as one listens to their recordings or watching their films. Yeah, well, it is if you're listening to Simple Minds, Tessa. You know, don't you forget about me. Now, seriously, maybe people. I mean, Anthony Peake has written a lot about this, about how there's a premortal lucidity. People, you know, especially very elderly people who are suffering from premortal lucidity will sometimes see old childhood friends, and sometimes maybe even see their invisible friend, as you saw there in that wonderful moment at the end where the imaginary friends come back to all the people at the very end, and it's like suddenly the veil has gone and they can see them again. Yeah, and Tessa says it's almost as if the veil thins as they seem to reach through and touch one. Yeah. David Splendidization says, familiars and pukas, manifestations of the Fey demons, some visible only to whomever they deem. Yeah, in Harvey, it's revealed that Harvey the rabbit is a puka. He actually says, because he actually at one point tells someone he's a puka, this person, right? A puka. It's Pooka, but it's sometimes spelled Puca. I think that's the proper Irish spelling, and it is a mischievous spirit. Tessa says to David, most of the world watch films with invisible friends being portrayed. Lots of fan clubs for singers, actors, actresses. Well, Tessa, I mean, maybe there's an element of this because this ties in possibly with the Mablethorpe talk, because I gave an example of somebody who seemed to believe that a character in a soap opera was real, to the point where she's trying to raise money to hire a solicitor to defend her, to pay for a solicitor to act for her in her legal strife. It's weird that this person did not stop to think, this is not a real person. This is a fiction. This is a fictional character. This is a figment of someone's imagination. Strange, isn't it? Nihilist Lives Matter says, you should watch a film called Paulie. It's a children's film that deals with similar concepts, but though through a different medium. Oh, is that the one about the parrot? I saw a bit of that once. Paulie, yeah. It's about a parrot, I think. An intelligent parrot. It can talk like a lot of parrots can, but it knows what it's saying, yeah. Diego Rivera says to Nihilist, you seem to like children, don't you? Nihilist says, please elaborate. No, Diego Rivera, you like watching children's films as an adult. Nihilist, what's wrong with that? Yeah, what is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? And Nihilist says, it depends on the film. Goonies and Gremlins, Stone Cold classics. But what you seem to be trying to do is associate enjoying a children's movie with inappropriate behaviour. Yeah, Diego Rivera, what are you talking about? You are insinuating something, I think. You're either insinuating that Nihilist is, like I say, inappropriate, or that they're somehow juvenile and immature. Why is that? I mean, I'm not an immature person, but I like some children's films. If it's essentially a children's film, very good one. I mean, it's the best children's fiction is ones that people of all ages can enjoy. Nihilist says, you're quite sneaky, huh? I'd go as far as to say you're a wrong'un. Israel, you have a great love of children, and Israel... Is there a connection there? Children voyeur. Nihilist, screenshot it, as you like to delete your mischievous comments. Yeah, what are you talking about, Diego Rivera? That's children voyeur. That sounds dodgy to me. I think I'm going to delete that comment. Okay, that's out of order. Nihilist says to Diego Rivera, children of the future, we should love and protect all children. Are you trying to accuse me of inappropriate behaviour towards children? That's pretty low and disgusting even for you. I couldn't care less for that country. I probably would be considered anti-Semitic by today's standards. Well, who wouldn't be, Nihilist, you know? Just saying you like David Icke is enough. But Diego Rivera, I think you're trying to provoke Nihilist Lives Matter, aren't you? Diego Rivera, all right. I'm deleting your comment, Diego. I'm deleting that comment, Diego Rivera. And that one. Alright, he's gone. Alright, I've deleted Diego Rivera's last few comments. Diego, that's out. If you want to wind someone up, fair enough, okay? But don't do it that way with that subject, please. David says, don't feed the troll. Yes, you're right, David says, Nihilist, yeah. That's a shame. I don't dislike you, Diego, but I'm not going to put up with that kind of behaviour. If said here, hey Ben, did you post your recent talk about the BBC anywhere? I'm keen to watch it. Alright, and I just said, coming up in a day or two. Thanks, Ben. I said, it's up now, and Dark Corners, that's Dark Corners speaking there. I watched it, great video as always. Thanks, Dark Corners, glad you enjoyed it, mate. Dark Corner says on If, my imaginary friend was a cuddly toy hedgehog called Toby when I was about 7. Alright, well, if it's a cuddly toy, it's not technically imaginary, but I mean, children do sort of project a real personality onto their toys, and girls do with their dolls and things like that. When I was about 7, I lost Toby. I was understandably heartbroken. Oh, I'm sorry, mate. We later went on holiday to Wales, and who was waiting for me at our rental property but Toby? Albeit, I would later discover it was a different Toby. Loving punched by my mother, I loved him as much or more than an original Toby. I still own him to this day. Oh, that's lovely. You know what? I think you posted a photograph of him, Dark Corners, somewhere. I think you did put it on. Oh, you put it on Discord, didn't you? Yeah. We had my daughter lost this little doll of hers once. She was about 2, and she had this little baby doll, and she lost it, and she was devastated. I went out and bought her another one. And I told because what she thinks is that her mother might have accidentally thrown it away. So I bought her another one, and I told her that I'd been to see I went to see the Dustmen, and I told them they'd let me search the dump, and I'd found it. Yeah, she was only 2, that's the thing to do. Diego Rivera, you need to take tissues, Ben. That purple monster got to you. Yeah, it was incredibly moving film. Incredibly, it was. I mean, I liked it much more than the critics did. I seem to even like films more, like films less than the critics do. Again, Gary. Hey Ben, mate, I went to the movies with my sister and her kid this morning to watch some of the old Transformers cartoons from the 1980s. During the commercials, they played a teacher recruitment promo, which, as you can imagine, showed a class of youngsters being unrealistically inspired by their teacher. I've seen that, Gary. It's always on in the cinemas, yeah. Who was apparently changing their lives for the better. Something happened close to the start of the commercial I found interesting. The teacher leans towards the whiteboard, ooh racist, with his pointer. He points to the phrase alien life, which is written in big words on the board. Yeah, I saw that. I was going to mention that, actually. Yeah, weird, Gary. Are they trying to tell us something where they stuck for things to write? Seriously, though, you have to wonder why they wrote that and made sure it was visible on the screen. Cheers. Thanks, mate. That's odd, isn't it? Yeah. It's odd. I saw that and I remember thinking at the time, you've just reminded me, yeah. All right, here we go. This is one of my most notorious and infamous videos. Colonel Holt returns to Rendlesham. This was banned and then unbanned. After there was significant. I had a significant privacy restriction attack on it, which I fought back on. Devil's Advocate says, I believe Colonel Holt saw what he said he saw. Otherwise, why would he bring all the stress he has gone through on himself? He was never a UFO guy, so did not have any prior interest. He went out that night to get to the bottom of things, but ended up as mystified as the rest of us. By the way, it has now emerged that there was no lighthouse light directed landward, which makes sense because the lights are meant to be seen by vessels out at sea. What would be the point of shining a light towards the land? Yes, that's right, Devil's Advocate. The light is only seen it can be seen in a few places inland, but not many. It can't be seen in the areas where Colonel Holt was. That's been proven. I mean, people have looked for it, in fact, and have seen it. There was a few idiots who went around saying that was the explanation, but it wasn't true. Yeah, that's right, Devil's Advocate. I think Colonel Holt saw something. Yeah. What I don't like is the fact that he seems to have been, after he came out with his initial testimony, he seems to have been recruited to some kind of attempt to suppress the more interesting information related to the sighting. Yeah. Ben Emlyn-Jones at the Mablethorpe Group, a gold tinfoil hat for nothing as it seems. Yes. Martin Templeton says silver tinfoil hat. Yes, well done, Martin. You get silver. And Tessa says bronze tinfoil hat, much more fashionable. We got an entire podium here now. Yes, we do indeed. Same video. Coda says I have a deep Huffalo Dowder at the Peeploads under Downage in the Common Trails. Trickly how with all that hat loaders. Oh dear, with the Peeploads under Downage in the trickly how with all that hat loaders. Well, they got there first, Coda. They got there first. Crafty Nihilist says, me too. Oh, Mablethorpe Group. Right, Nihilist Lives Matter. Right, now Nihilist Lives Matter is referring to the perching, the sort of parrot perchers, or the perching sticks which they have in bus shelters. These types of benches have been used to discourage rough sleepers. Oh dear, it's crazy. They keep putting these things up to stop rough sleepers. I mean, it's cruel actually to do that. I think, as if the rough sleepers will just go back to their mansions or something. It's pathetic. Oh dear. Yeah, it's actually insulting. I think. Right. We have Mablethorpe Group. David says those warning signs are those warning signs against touching are more evidence of the degradation of society, including the recent mass imports from cultures which don't respect sexual boundaries in public. You're right. We never used to need them. Yeah, it's Oh, and this is the public defibrillator, isn't it? Yeah.
Other people without their consent.
Yeah, that's at Peterborough. Yeah, at Peterborough there's a public defibrillator. The amount of public defibrillator stations, like the one behind you, has noticeably increased since a certain global panic. Yes, I wonder why. I wonder too. Yes, as someone was saying at the Mablethorpe group, actually, they keep hearing more ambulances than usual lately. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's David. It's ironic. Like I said, the only people who are ever going to be blamed for this are white men. The only people the feminists are going to criticise are white men. We are the only demographic who are going to be blamed for all the touching and staring, all these horrible things, and the lewd comments and the catcalling. Yeah, we're the demographic least likely to do it. it's I think it's bad. It's just simply bad conscience on the part of these people. Really, we have Blogger 526 now. The amount of public defibrillator stations has been increasing for the past decade through the concerted effort by charities, residents groups, and associations such as The Circuit, which has not increased exponentially since the global panic. The rest of the world calls the P word for the C word. Rather carried on the steady but significant take-up of life-saving equipment in public access. I wonder why people like yourself try to conflate issues that cause alarm in the weak-minded. You sound like a school teacher. Alarm in the weak-minded. In actuality, the rate of installations dropped significantly during said P word. Such strange things, conspiratorial narratives. On the one hand, it's population control by killing us all off by some indeterminate methodology, and on the other, it's trying to save us by mass installations of defibrillators. Such conflicted souls these NWO types must be. How very sceptic that is. Well, I mean, maybe David has an answer to that, because sometimes things are not always as they seem. You see, the people behind the. Besides, I'm not actually convinced there has not been a exponential rise in these facilities during the P word. I think there has. I think now David has mentioned it. I think I've noticed it myself. Secondly, you've got to realise is that the people putting in the defibrillators are not the same as the people organising the you-know-what. The people putting in the defibrillators are responding to the actions of the you-know-what. The powers that be, the powers that were, rather, don't do everything. Sometimes people react to that, and that's what you're seeing. So I don't think there is a conflicted thing. There's not necessarily a confliction here. Conflict, rather. And David says to Blogger, despite your arrogant and condescending attitude, 1, we only have your word for that, which doesn't amount to a hill of beans, and 2, I wasn't talking to you, dickhead. Mablethorpe Group, Crafty Nihilist. Sunday viewing sorted. Hope you enjoy it, Crafty. I must say, I've had some good evenings in front of Mark's reportage and the live stream last night. Sorry I couldn't stay for the end of it. I really enjoyed it. It's been a really, really, really good. It's like being there to see all these things at Göbekli Tepe and that. Mablethorpe Group. Neil Peel says, no tinfoil hat. I scraped him with a flat cap. Dark Corner says here on Mablethorpe Group, I can't believe we're nearly at the end. We're about 3/4 of the way through. I'm not even through the first hour. What you said in the talk about everything constantly changing to keep us on our toes really resonated with me. We have the exact same thing at work. Every few months a new policy or procedure will be introduced and we're expected to follow this to the letter. Then weeks or months later a new policy or procedure is introduced which makes the last one obsolete. Sometimes it feels like they are purposely trying to make the job more difficult than it needs to be. I'm certain there is a psychological reason for this. At least it feels like they have us jumping through theoretical hoops sometimes. Yeah. It's like I said in the talk, the politically correct terms change. Like, you can't say coloured people anymore without having to do a massive apology if you're a celebrity, like Benedict Cumberbatch did. There was a massive Twitter storm when he said coloured people. He did 2 apologies. He did an apology, and then he said, I apologise again! For what? And I can give you numerous examples of that sort of thing. And, London Transport then becomes Transport for London. Pubs' names change, as I said. And it's all part of this this feeling, introducing this feeling of uncertainty and precariousness in our lives. That's what the psychological warfare experts want to do. Annie Thomas said it very well. Everything is designed to break our spirit. I mentioned EastEnders. Every single plot line is designed to be depressing and demoralising, and tell you that you are worthless if you are not a complete conformist tool. It's it's really abusive and horrible. It's insidious. It really is. Mabel Thorpe, Gary Robinson. In regards to Rolf Harris, a colleague from my new media days was in a lift with him and some people once, and some other people once, and witnessed some inappropriate behaviour. When the news about Savile was doing the rounds, and he said that he wouldn't be surprised if Rolf Harris was next on the hit list. I was a big fan of Rolf Harris when I was a kid, so this news, although it came as no surprise, was very disappointing. Neil says, I'd heard dodgy Rolf from my sister-in-law when he did a show for Warner Holidays. Right. Yeah. Even if he didn't break the law, I mean, if he's going to act like that, it makes him a wide open goal for someone to set up. I mean, in a sense, he shouldn't be behaving in lewd ways, even if it's not like against the law. Because firstly, it's wrong, it's antisocial. Secondly, it makes him vulnerable to being set up. Yeah. Mabel Thorpe. Gary Robinson said, I also have something to say about Janet Street Porter. One of my best mates was the late Leki Adesoye, who founded the Aerosol clothing company, under which he designed the famous Junglist movement T-shirts. One of Leki's best mates was Normsky, whom you may remember presented a TV show in the early 90s called Dance Energy, which was responsible for putting some of the post-acid house and early rave scene acts such as The Prodigy on mainstream TV for the first time. I don't remember that specifically, Gary. Mark Devlin is the guy who knows all about that sort of thing. But I used to go to I probably listened to some of that music back then because I went to nightclubs and things. Back in the days when I was gigging with my band Rareform and Poison Flow, Lecky and Normsky would come to all of my London gigs. At one of these events, Normsky and Lecky were joking about the fact that Janet Street Porter went to Norm with an offer which was that if he had bedtime intimacy with her on a regular basis, that she would commission the Dance Energy show and make him the presenter. Can we assume that she saw what Savile and Rolf were up to, and she learned from them how to use her position to manipulate people? It could be. I mean, people do this. I mean, it's no secret that men do this, like Harvey Weinstein and people like that. But of course, women sometimes do the same thing. They will do the same thing sometimes. If people are in positions of power, they will use it to get what they want, whether they're, and this could be sexual access, whether they're men or women. Mabel Thorpe. Dr. Keith says, seems like a great day out. I hope everyone got back from the care home okay. Right. Why didn't I... That's why I was going to block you. I'm blocking you now, you bastard. Right, how do I block... Is it... Oh, right, look at Dr. Keith's channel. This is Dr. Keith's channel. More about this channel. Nothing. Join July 21, 14 subscribers. There we go. No uploads, no faves, no subs, no nothing. Right, how do I block this bastard? Right. Report user. I don't need to report them, I just want to hide them from my channel. There we go. Goodbye, you dickhead. Up yours. I think you're a droid troll, aren't you? I think you're one of the droid trolls. I'll just delete your comment. There you go. I was thinking I saw your name. I thought I meant to block you, didn't I? The Crafty Nice says on Mabel Thorpe. That was great, Ben. Thanks, Crafty. Glad you both liked it. Or I hope Mark likes it when he gets back from Turkey. A Tolkien film review. Oh right, here we are. This is a good film actually. I like that. Dark Corner says, love it when some HPANWO content I haven't watched yet appears on my suggested videos. Oh, good. Well, Dark Corner, I'm glad they're appearing on your suggested videos because, I mean, I've been shadow banned so badly that I'm surprised any of them appear at all. Even though you sub to me, If a film review, Crafty Nihilist. It sounds like they're trying to make the gin cute and cuddly to me. Demon face syndrome, anyone? And David says, yes, demons can appear in appealing disguises. It's part of their deception towards the subject. Right, this is addressed actually in... This is addressed quite considerably in Invisikids by Mike Hallowell. This is why he doesn't call them imaginary friends, he calls them quasi-corporeal companions. Because friend implies... it makes an assumption about their intentions. We don't know necessarily that they are friends. They appear to be benign. That's the thing. They do appear to be very benign. I mean, the children... I suppose the children report them as being... Obviously call them friends, which indicates they are benign influence. But we don't know what their real purpose is. We don't know exactly what they are and what their real intention is towards our people, our species on this planet, in this world. Yeah. And of course, demons can appear in appealing forms. Yes, they can. And to a child, it might be some playful, lovable friend. We don't know that. I mean, I've never heard. I mean, there are children who encounter entities which are harmful, but they don't say, "Oh, that's my imaginary friend." And they don't say things like, well, they don't change. So, for example, a child which has an imaginary friend then says, but then he turned nasty and he attacked me. You don't hear that either, which indicates that if they are a jinn or some other subtle being, they appear to be of the essentially benign type. But we can't assume that. Yeah, we can't assume that. David Splendid Isolation says on If. I went to see it myself. Pretty good film, even though fairly different. Drop Dead Fred is a superior film, in my opinion. Yes, Drop Dead Fred is absolutely superb. If it's a similar theme, as with Harvey, they're very similar. It's Harvey, Drop Dead Fred, and If. But no, If has a particular style, I think, which is really, really good. I mean, the critics mocked this a little bit, but I thought it was extraordinarily good. The scenes where the Ifs glow when their friends remember them, their human companions remember them. And that is extraordinarily powerful, I think. It really is. It's a really, really effective idea, and it's very well presented in the film, especially accompanied to the music. The Oneida line theme. That to me is very, very powerful indeed. Steve-O71 says here on Mablethorpe Group, it's a timestamp, 10720. What does he say? This is presumably my talk.
With the post-war BBC service began, this is very different to the original 10 shilling radio license.
Oh, it's about the TV license, right? He says here, Ben, you do not need a TV license if you have a TV, only if you watch live transmissions on the BBC's iPlayer service. Or any other catch-up service does not require a license, neither does simply using a TV for DVDs, Blu-ray or gaming devices. Most folks could easily get by without paying the fee. It has been over 3 years since I had my license terminated. The detector vans are a fraud, and you're not obliged to speak with any door knockers they threaten to send. They're only salesmen pushing for commission. That's absolutely right, Steve-O. I mean, with iPlayer, whenever I go to iPlayer, on those rare occasions I want to watch something from the BBC, they just say this: you have to have a license to watch it. So they have this little questionnaire. It says, "Do you have a TV license?" One box says yes, one box says no. I just click the box that says yes. That's the end of it. It's a lie, but they never sort of say, "Oh, well, hang on a minute, you're lying. Well, we detected that you're not." Yeah, the detector vans were ridiculous. It's insane. They just simply got these. They're not even like radar dishes. They're just like TV aerials on the top of vans, and they drove them around towns. There was even this urban myth, and I remember kids at school telling you about this. So if you ever see interference on your TV and pulses, it goes bzz, bzz, bzz. You see like lines on the screen, bzz, bzz. You hear this noise coming through the speakers, bzz, bzz, right? You ever hear that? That's a sign the detector vans are busy listening out for you. But it was a complete and total sham. It was a bluff. It was a total bluff, the detector vans, and pretty quickly people worked out what it was. There was very amusing adverts, The guy goes out on a boat out to sea, and he's like rowing, and he stops rowing the boat, and he's in the fog, and he's sitting there watching TV, and he's watching the meerkats, and then this submarine comes up beneath him. It's horrible. All these ridiculous kind of stupid. Oh, they're so funny if you watch them, and that's 2001 type one that I showed. Yeah, absolutely. You're right, Steve-O. Um, as for the door knockers, you just tell them to get lost. Say, I'm not paying for rapists and paedophiles. Bugger off. Reply to comments 96. Coda says here. You have deep joy for the ecclesial music, do you? Yeah, I do. Funny enough, I was at work today. Today is Sunday, and I went to work, and I heard church bells. It was lovely. It was a lovely sound in the morning. Church bells echoing through the little district where I work. It's beautiful. I love it. All right, Cleary the pipe loads and singly song. What? Cleary the pipe loads and singly song. I can sing. I am Welsh after all. Hear the wordage of the heavenly bode. A one and a through and a grerts. The foot bowl is connected to the ankload. Oh, the ankload is connected to the shin bowl. The shin bowl is connected to the knee clapper. The knee clapper is connected to the thigh bowl. The thigh bowl is connected to the bocus. Hear ye the wordage of the Lord. That's good. That reminds me of the last episode of The Prisoner, where he meets number one. Yeah, it's yeah. That's the lyrics there in Unwanese. Mablethorpe Group. A proper link, perhaps, is nothing as it seems, and here is actually a link to something. It's a YouTube link. What did it say? Oh, it's the Blue Danube by Johann Strauss. Oh, that's sorry. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. I love that. I love that tune. Yeah. Nothing that seems says that will be played throughout the halls into you'll inevitably committed to. Sonoma has a what? That will be played throughout the halls into you'll inevitably be committed to. Sonoma has a room waiting for you. I don't know what that means. Angela Kenyon, Thunderstorm Generator. Hello, Ben. Viewing 5 minutes into the video upload. Sounds an interesting title. Oh, thanks. It is. Someone suggested this. It's something because after I saw Randall Carlson at Stairway, I promised I'd look into this. Yeah. I don't know if Randall's going to be at Contact. I hope so. I might see him again next week. If he is, I'll be sure to watch him. Yeah, I might see if I can get a chat with him. Thunderstorm, yes. Thunderstorm Generator. Coda. Silver Hat Load. Grubble up now and a handy ho. Oh, yes. Yeah. Angela gets the gold this time, yes. Well done. Right, here we go. We are now into Thunderstorm Generator. We're cloud busting, Daddy. Oh, that's from that brilliant song and video by Kate Bush, Cloud Busting. That is extraordinary. It's really I'll never forget when I actually first saw that when I was a kid. I'd gone to I went to the cinema to watch Superman 2, I remember. And in those days, they used to show like little cartoons and rock videos and things before the main feature. And they showed Cloud Busting by Kate Bush, and I was mesmerised. I was astonished. I found it haunted me. And it's weird because I'd never heard of Wilhelm Reich at the time, and I knew nothing about him. But for some reason, it's just sort of like really resonated with me on a really deep level. Yeah, Coda says, Bushy Kate Load, yes. Or give it the Withering Tights. The Withering Tights. T-Joy. Do her tights wither? Does she get ladders in them and holes? Yes, that was filmed at my favourite place, actually. One of my favourite places, White Horse Hill in Uffington, Oxfordshire. They had, Kate Bush she played a young Peter Reich, the son, and they had Donald Sutherland playing the Reich. And it's odd. It's very odd you actually get that in a music video. You get an actor he's actually an established movie actor, yet he played a role in a rock video. That's very unusual. Film actors don't normally do that, but yeah, it's an incredible video. If you've not seen it, please do. It's really extraordinary. Save to Save said, love you, Coda. Makes my day to hear you too. Oh, Save to Save, you got another fan, Coda, there. And Coda says to Save to Save, always a deep joy and pridely dignified to have peeploads appreciate and perceive it. The meal of my wordings, deep joy, oh yes. Steve-O says, withering tights indeed. Ooh, matron. Ooh, matron. Coda says, deep joy in the pentaload with the windy Barbaras there. Whoa, yes. Oh, that's the end. That's the end of hour number 1, yeah. Oh yes, I thought, but the thoughts of Barbara Windsor, yes, definitely. All right, guys, so back for hour number 2 shortly. Oh, I've been on screen share. Never mind. Okay, we're in hour number 2. This for some reason this is going to be shorter than your average thing. Average comment reply video. I don't know why. We must have had fewer comments. Maybe it's because I was away for a while. I don't know. Maybe I've got fewer uploads. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not showing you the screen now. I've got to be careful when I show screens because, I mean, you never know what I might show you. Thunderstorm generator, and we have Frank Triggs, who says here, it's a copy of Paul Pantoni's invention from the 1980s. He got his patent in 1998, US patent 5794601. It's the same system. Look up the patent and YouTube search for GEET, G-W-T, fuel processor. I've been following 0-point energy inventions since around 2000, so knew straight away this was done before. A Google search will find all you need to know about the GEET device and Paul Pantoni. Oh, thanks. I've heard of Paul Pantoni somewhere. The name rings a bell. It's pronounced in a sort of Italian way like that. You often find this, though, Frank. I mean, you find that an invention will often be one that has been discovered before. These are often not copied; they're just discovered independently. Different people come up with the same ideas at the same time. It could be because of some Jungian collective unconscious thing, or it could be just coincidence. But either way, they come up with the same thing. I mean, Pons and Fleischmann came up with the anomalous heat effect from 1927, the same experiment with the same results. Although, as far as I know, they didn't know about the anomalous heat effect experiment, but they came up with the same thing. Yeah, it's interesting. Thanks very much for the information there. Thunderstorm generator, Tessa, trying to control sunshine with articles in the higher atmosphere. I think you mean particles. Doesn't surprise that this weather instrument is being used. HAARP had it first. Yeah, I mean they speak quite openly about it. Tessa. It's called stratospheric aerosol injection for solar radiation management. They've actually said so. Yeah, I mean it was on Tomorrow's World in the 80s. I remember seeing it when I was a kid. Yeah. So no wonder they're doing it. They're actually doing it. If you watch my video, Oxford's Secret Science, I go into that in more detail. Coda says, it's all a matter of manipulation. The 4 square squirthy molecules and follop it down on the encabulode all produce a soggy most. Squirthy molecule. Easy when you have the thorcus for it. Oh yes. Manipulating the 4 square squirty molecules and falling in down on the encabulode. Sorry, I haven't got the latest vocabulary from the Oxford Unwinnie's Dictionary. Frank Triggs on Thunderstorm Generator. A video demonstration of Paul Pantoni's devices called Paul Pantoni GEET Fuel Processor and Clean Alternative Energy on YouTube. I'll look this up. I think maybe Andrew Johnson mentioned this. I don't know. I would ask him if I was on speaking terms with him, but I'm not. Let's have a look. Right, here we go. Here you go, Frank, yes. This might be it.
This is a standard.
Utah inventor Paul Pantone has developed what he calls the GEET fuel processor, a plasma generator similar to a super carburetor that actually appears to run on 80% water and is entirely non-polluting.
This device replaces the carburetor and exhaust and combines them as one unit, mixed to, and comes to chamber vacuum. air temperature going in from the air portion up here. Normally one...
Oh, right, okay, I'll have to watch that later. Definitely I'll have a look at that later. Definitely. Thanks, Frank. I can't post links. Yeah, you can't, unfortunately. I mean, they'd go to spam. I could release them, but it's all right. And I can't post links here or even suggest them, else my comment gets deleted. Anyways, it's essentially the same thing as what Malcolm Bendall is professing to have invented, although Paul invented it in the 1980s. That video clip comes from a documentary by Colonel Thomas Bearden called The Race to Zero Point. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that documentary, which may be why, maybe that's why I've heard of Paul Pantone. Now, you say Malcolm Bendall professing to have invented it. It's possible Malcolm doesn't. It's possible Malcolm is doing this in all innocence, Frank. I don't think he means any. He may not mean any disrespect to Paul or want to steal his idea or anything like that. After all, Paul has a patent for it. I mean, that should say an awful lot. But it's possible that he's come up with this idea completely independently. However, I'm familiar with The Race to Zero Point. Yeah, I've seen that documentary. Bearden, I mean, Andrew Johnson's talked about Bearden a lot. Yeah. Thunderstorm generator. Coda says, "Oh, fully agree. KC truckload. So Carsey truckload. Oh, Carsey Tucker Carlson. Yeah, can use his physgog. All frowny most. Open it up the heavenly bode, with the Sealy all wet and dangly in the early mordy." Yeah, the Sealy all wet and dangly in the early mordy. Open it up the heavenly bode. Carsey Tuckload. What's Sir Randall? Is it Carsey Randload? Do you mean Carsey Tuckload or Carsey Randload? I got them mixed up a couple of times. And now we have Frank Triggs again on Thunderstorm Generator. It needs to get up to around 700 to 900 degrees centigrade before you get the plasma, or else the heavy elements don't get broken down into lighter elements. This has been the problem for the Geets device for longevity running before it breaks down. New materials that resist high temperatures might help, but it's expensive. Just heard you say about don't attempt to patent this. Maybe this is because it's already patented by Paul Pantone. Well, could be, Frank. Yes, I mean certainly if it's patented by him, it's his invention. But the reason I actually said that was because if you do patent it, you often get into trouble. You get like men in black knocking on your door, offering you like £1 million to shut up or to sell your patent or to sign non-disclosure agreements. If that doesn't work, then they'll dig up some dirt from your past and threaten you with it. Things like they'll blackmail you or something. There's a scene in the my new serial, The Obscurati Chronicles, about that, and of course Jemima Digby in the Roswell trilogy has that same experience. But yeah, the new materials, right? What happens is the Bendall's colleagues, the forge, they invented new alloys which they make the pipes out of, which makes it could run at higher temperatures. Yeah. Dr. Keith, I have blocked, so I'll just delete his comment. Coda says here on Assange extradition hearing live stream. I toenail tip it with Juliet Sandwich there. Who's Juliet Sandwich? Oh, who's that? There's much Huffalo Dowder regarding bold his wandering pentalode. If you get the meal of my wordings. Oh right, yes. Is Juliet's? Is that his? Oh, that's that woman he met in Sweden. He supposedly shagged. Yeah. Well, you know, he could pull some bird because I mean he's got status, and he can pull some bird. But yes, he did sort of play the field a bit, didn't he? And it did get him into trouble, as you know, it does if you allow yourself to get seduced in that way. This is why, you know, at his age you ought to know better. At his age you ought to realise that, you know, if some bird comes up and makes you an offer you can't refuse, which you think is too good to be true, it probably is, and she has some ulterior motive to get you into trouble. So yeah, he should have known better than to get involved with her. But there you go. Just because you'd like to toenail tip it with her doesn't mean it's a good idea to do so, Coda. Because you really should. I would say, you know, you've got to make an effort to resist the temptation. Because if you don't, you could end up like stuck in some embassy like he did. and then in jail now, poor guy. No, I'm not saying he deserves it. He doesn't deserve it, but you know, I hope he gets freed soon. But you know, in a sense, he walked into a trap that they laid out for him. Which is, they're the bad guys for doing it to him, but he could have resisted it. Yeah. Thunderstorm Generator, Crafty Nihilist says, interesting. See you on the other side of the vid. Thanks, Crafty. Stuart Morris says, very good and interesting, Ben. Thanks, Stuart. Much appreciated. And now we have Steve-O71 on Thunderstorm Generator. Oh, Benny, have you shelved your spy novel? Not heard you mention it for a while. No, I haven't, Steve-O. I've created it as a serial. You want to now? I've written 7 chapters already. You can read them now. They're on Ben's bookcase. I can't post a link, but it's basically HPANWO-bb.blogspot.uk. There's actually a link to it from the HPANWO TV blog. You can read it there. And I've been, oh bloody heck! I've been putting in the wrong. Sorry guys, I've got to go back and make a correction because I had something on my clipboard I shouldn't have, which I'll just go and edit now. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing a serial. I was going to write a novel about it, and I suddenly realised I don't have that kind of patience anymore. Especially not something that's obviously going to be as long and detailed as that. So I just thought that I could spend years and years and years of my life writing a book. Or I could just I could make it an online serial. I started doing like what's the word? I started with like sample chapters, and I thought, what the hell? I'll just make it the whole bloody thing. I'll put the whole bloody thing online. Why not? A lot of other people are doing that. You know, Nick Cook, Hunt for 0 Point. He is actually right now creating a serial. He's writing a book as a serial. So yeah, I can't post a link here, but just do check it out, Steve-O. It's on. You can read the first 7 chapters, even though you can't read it to the end. You'll like what I've written so far, I think. And I'm working on chapter 8 right now. Thunderstorm Generator, Hugo Rune, Picky Weedia. I like that. I pick my weed. Thank you. Picky Weedia. Yeah. Steve-O says Hugo and has a smoking emoji. Okay, and now, right, now this is interesting. This is a really old video. UFOs, a reply to Stefan Molyneux. Oh, I think this is my first ever reply video to Stefan Molyneux. Vic Convict. My wife just showed this to me. I am the victor in the program. Right. Yeah, if you remember, if you watch the video, you'll know that I'm replying to a video Stefan Molyneux made. This is my first reply to Molly, actually, like I said. And he's in conversation with someone called Victor. Well, this guy called Victor has got in touch with me. This was back in 2017, and he's found it, which is really, really cool. He's Victor's actually emailed me, and I've been having a conversation with him. Now this is not the Victor of the alien interview, I should point out. All right, that's someone different. Yeah, my wife just showed this to me. I am the Victor in the program. I was very excited to share a lot of ufology with Stefan and by 4 Canadian professionals, but Stefan was not interested at all. I was going to let him know about Wilbert Smith, the radio engineer who did research for this government in the 1950s on UFOs. Stanton Friedman, the most famous UFO researcher, Grant Cameron, a very prominent Canadian UFO researcher, and Paul Hellyer, ex-Canadian Ministry of Defence, who stated at least 4 different ET civilizations were visiting our planet. Yeah, that's absolutely true, Victor. Yeah, of course, we're all familiar with these people. Wilbert Smith. Andrew Johnson's done a very interesting talk about Wilbert Smith. He's a radio engineer he's the one who said that they're classified higher than the H-bomb. Of course, there's Paul Hellyer, and as I mentioned Paul Hellyer when he passed away. Funnily enough, it was only the ufological press who gave him an obituary. None of the Canadian newspapers covered it. The great Stanton T. Friedman, of course, from New Brunswick. Yes, brilliant, and of course Grant Cameron. Yeah, he's still with us, Grant, still doing his stuff, which is really cool. However, Stefan was not interested in learning anything about the topic and primarily wanted want to find out why I was interested in it, as if I had some character flaw in wanting to believe this phenomena. However, I had studied so much and found out that fact after fact, proving there is something to this that was way beyond anything I've ever learned about science or engineering. Glad to see Ben has analysed this biased interview. Oh, you're welcome, Victor. And you know what? I was disappointed with Molly when in that interview. He wasn't up to his usual standard. It just goes to show, he's not the super uber rational person that he claims to be. Sometimes he does talk complete crap, and he has these mental blocks. And of course, if you look through my channel, you'll see I've done about a couple of dozen other replies to Molly. So yeah, it's good to hear from you, mate. Good to hear from you. Video ban 10. I think YouTube is dead, says user QO. For this type of video, I can't say I like it, but YouTube is mainstream media now. So much has been removed from this website lately. It's ridiculous. Absolutely, I couldn't say it better myself, user. Yeah, we are being shown the door without a doubt. If you're not just talking about nonsense and frivolities, they just don't want you. Oh, this is a good old video, quite an old one, a controversial one. White people, a reply to Christy Winters. Melvin Sherman says, when I think about it, Christy is like Putin, minus she was a communist. Again, I might be wrong with the main reason why Putin attacked Ukraine, other than hate NATO. Is he want Eastern Bloc back minus communist? Well, on the subject of Putin, he does kind of want that. He wants Russia's traditional allies to be with him, allied to him. But as for Christy Winters, is she like Putin? No, Christy Winters, I think is I think she's quite. I think she's sinister. I think she's someone I wouldn't get on with. I think she's too intelligent not to know that she's lying. And that's worrying, yeah. Coda says on Thunderstorm Generator, all trickly how in a new direction. Are you? Trickly how in a new direction? Am I trickling in a new direction? It is a deep joy to hear it in my very eardroves. Enthusiamost after the Ufology rotary discus, all full up into smithereens. Oh yes. Well, I am enthusiamost about both, Coda. I'm still into the Ufology rotary discus, of course, but I like other things as well, like free energy and stuff like that. Yeah, I am. Yes. So that's on the Thunderstorm Generator. But you see, the UFOs and the free energy are intimately connected because of what powers them and what has been gathered from things like Roswell. Right, if film review, Coda, all remind me of Five Night Tiles at Freeloaders. Five Night Tiles at is that a film? Five Night Tiles at Fredloaders. Five Night Tiles at Fredloaders. Freeloaders. I don't know what that is. Sorry, Coda. My unwinnies is not up to that. Okay, so let us now go to BitChute. Let's see what we got on BitChute. I know I've got some comments on here. Okay, so we'll go to reply to comments 96 first of all. What we got here? Okay, Hugo Rune. Welsh are British, English are Germanic. Please correct me. Well, no, I have. English are not Germanic. Germanic doesn't refer to any people. It refers to a family of languages which the English speak. Welsh are British. Well, British refers to is a country in which certain people who are very genetically similar, essentially they are racially identical, live. We call themselves Welsh, British, Scots, etc. But they're the same, definitely. And Hugo says, can I just leave one comment for you here, Hugo? I miss Africa, fond memories. Oh, because you did travel a lot, didn't you? Yeah. I now have 50 spliffs in my tin, which is nice. Oh, it's enough to last you an hour or so. Nice one, Ben. Looking forward to this. You're welcome, Hugo. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Video ban 10. Okay. What we got here? Smith-Munt Modernisation. What's this? Smith-Munt Modernisation Act of 2012 Ben the JR Porter may require a VPN. Oh, right, this is a BitChute link. Let's have a look. Well, some of them do, yeah. I mean, you must be used to BitChute. Let's have a look. Ah, yes, I know what this is. I think this is Europa: The Last Battle. I've seen it, Smithman. Yeah, I have, and you're right. It is. It's not visible in this country, but it's worth watching. I'd say. I don't agree with every word of it, but well, it's. I think it's very. I think it's very persuasive. A lot of it is very persuasive. I think the wrong people are blamed, but I still think I think it's worth watching. I certainly don't agree with censoring it. I'm certainly opposed to censorship. You're right, it does require a VPN. You can watch it through Tor. Alright, and I use Tor browser. You can use another VPN if you like. Mablethorpe Group. Discuss the video. Oh, I've got a lot here. Alright, Gran Turismo says, there is a video of an interview with Orwell on YouTube. Right, there's not. And I actually did explain in text. There's a drama called George Orwell, in his own words. I think it's called George Orwell in his own words. But he's played by an actor called Chris Langham. It's not actually George Orwell. There are no recorded videos, or there's no film footage or recordings of George Orwell's voice that we know of. The Death Beats says, in regards to Rolf Harris, a colleague... Oh, right. Ah, yes. The Death Beats is Gary. I don't think that's it. And Gary has essentially repeated the same comments he made on YouTube about Janice Street Porter and Rolf Harris. Yeah, it's not a secret you're Gary, is it? Death Beats, no, but thanks. Yeah, but that's right. Now, we have near Exortobal OCI. Right, here we go. Never heard of this person. Hi, Ben. Do you know that Israel has bombed more than 730 hospitals in Gaza? No, I didn't know there were that many hospitals in Gaza. I know they've bombed all of them, I think. Medical practitioners have to borrow people's clothes so they don't get shot on the street by the IDF. I know about that, yes. I'm sure this shoot-on-site policy would also apply to hospital porters like yourself. It's a dignified way to treat hospital porters, in your opinion? No, it's not. How could you say hospital porters' pride and dignity each week and also tacitly support Israel by your lecherous fence-sitting and unwillingness to denounce their war crimes in the face of overwhelming evidence? This is one of these weird conversations you have, right, where you're talking. It's like you're talking to someone about whether the interest rates should be raised or lowered, and they suddenly turn to you and say, "Why do you think kittens should be dipped in blue paint?" And you say, I didn't say that. Why do you think little baby chicks should be squeezed through mangles and fed to frogs? I didn't say that. Yes, you did. You said that. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. I see. Zortobal OCI. What the hell are you talking about? I haven't said anything about... what do you mean? Unwillingness to denounce war crimes. Tacit support. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Lecherous fence-sitting. All right, then. Where do you stand in the West Papuan conflict between the West Idrians and the West Papuans? Whose side are you on? Who are you, Team West Papua or Team West Idria? Don't tell me you're sitting on the fence. Why don't you educate yourself? If you're going to insist that everyone takes a side in every single foreign ethnic conflict, and you have to take a side in the West Papuan conflict, what side do you take? Why don't you denounce the war crimes of the West Papuans? Why don't you? You should be ashamed of yourself. Don't you think hospital porters in West Papua are suffering? See, Zortobor OCI, don't you see the idiocy of your statement there? Don't you see how nonsensical you are? I'm appealing to your reason here, and the fact that you have essentially... You are essentially listening to me say words that are not even coming out of my mouth. Have you had a stroke? Are you actually hearing voices instead of my voice? Because this is just nonsense. There's no this is ridiculous statement big enough to explain how nonsensical and ridiculous what you're saying is. Please do just take a step back, take a deep breath, listen to what I have to say again. Perhaps you should read the HPWA. I've got 2 articles on the HPWA blog all about the hospitals in Gaza you might be interested to know. Film review. Right. Oh, you wait till I upload my next video with Rin. You're going to love that. Alright, Hugo Rune. Come visit, please. I'm allowed to grow my own cannabis, my recognised medication. Please help me expose this publicly. Help me get it recognised and legalised. The police locally accept me, my growing cannabis. I'll be in touch, Hugo. Yeah, I will. I'm not going to be available now for a couple of months because I'm travelling other places, but I will after that find time to come and see you. Nice one, Ben. You're welcome, Hugo. That's the If Film Review. And then finally, Thunderstorm Generator. Discuss this video. No comments, right.
How to kill all mosquitoes in the area in 90 seconds.
Right, okay.
This simple but brilliant trick you can do tonight.
That ad is creepy, by the way, the ad with the mosquito thing. Because you see, it begins with this, people sticking their body parts into little enclosures with mosquitoes biting them, obviously like as an experiment. They're all over them. And the first one looks like someone's head, which is bald, but you can't really tell. It's weird. Alright, I'm just going to go through the, how are we now? How are we doing for time? Yeah, we're doing alright for time. Just going to go through the, notifications, just to see if I've got any comments on old videos. Sweeps has replied to me on his videos, that's good. Good old Sweeps Fox. Do check out Sweeps Fox's channel, actually. He's got some really good stuff on there. He does regular kind of like current affairs analyses programs, and they're really good. There's a lot to say about that. Oh, we're going through these. Good old Ray. He's improved BitChute a lot. But Ray, you need to up and move, mate. You need to get out of Britain, or at least move your facility out of Britain. Move it to Thailand, where you live. Why'd you keep it in Britain? I mean, it was interesting. It was because, of course, I got to visit the video. Oh, right, I got to visit the. I got to visit, didn't I? In Newbury. Do you remember my Newbury video when I've got to visit the BitChute offices? All right, we have one here. Reply to comments 95. Wormspleen. And Wormspleen says here. The notification the comment no longer exists. What? Oh. Wormspleen, did you delete it? Oh, yeah, Wormspleen's deleted his comment. All right, okay, well, that's a shame, Wormspleen. I'd be happy to listen to you if you wanted to comment. Okay, that's it. Okay, so I'll just go back to the top and click mark all as read. While it's doing that, I'll open up the Odyssey comments. I can't believe that this video is going to be shorter than usual. Maybe it's because I went to Mablethorpe. Maybe because I've got fewer uploads and I actually went to Mablethorpe. I don't know why it is. Okay, so we have here comments. Here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to delete the comments on BitChute. There we go. Right, notifications. We got reply to comments 96. Sibient Dreams. Right, here we go. Sibient Dreams. Reply to comments 96.
Conspiracies, government cover-ups.
Let's have a look here. Hang on. Right, here we go. Okay. I'm not. Right, here we go. This is odd. Excuse me a moment. Sibient Dreams says. Hang on, I'm just trying to put a reply in. Why can't I put a reply in? Oh, there we go. I'm not persuaded by anything you said here about animal mutilations. There are 3 questions that have to be asked. 1. What are the possible reasons for the MIC doing animal mutilation? Right, that's military-industrial complex. That's a good question. Second question, what are the possible reasons for aliens doing the animal mutilations? Another good question. 3. Which of the answers to 1 or 2 makes the most sense? Right. Well, the answer to both is I don't know. I mean, for the MIC, why would they do animal mutilations? I mean, the theories are that they're testing for radiation poisoning caused by Project Gas Buggy. That doesn't make sense because you can do those tests without cutting animals to pieces and leaving them in the field for the farmer to find. So that doesn't make sense. That's the only, and there's several other theories, such as they're looking for prions. Richard D. Hall suggested prions are a form of infectious mutant protein. Again, you can do these. I know from from what the vets were talking about when they were doing the postmortems on the BSE cattle. You don't need to do these kinds of things to get those for this kind of result. To test for prions and detect prions, you don't need to do the kind of injuries that were done to animals. And indeed, why get them? Why do them the way they do? Why not just buy them from a farmer's market? Why pick them up with a helicopter in the middle of the night and then drop them back in the field where everyone can see them? It's not expensive, and it's very obtrusive, and it's not very secret. So, apart from that, I can't think of any reason why the MI6 would do animal mutilations. What are the possible reasons for the aliens doing animal mutilations? That's even more difficult because, again, the theories are that they're taking DNA from us. Well, you only need one cell for DNA. I mean, this is why police forensics are so good these days. Literally, they can detect it like a hair. You drop a hair from your head onto the ground. It can be found by a forensic scenes of crimes officer and incriminate you in a crime. Why do they need to cut off udders and take tongues out and things? It doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense either. And the answer to number 3, which of the questions make the most sense, is neither of them do. And Cyber Dream says 1 is the only one of these questions you have considered. No, I've considered both, Cybiant. Cybiant says, I agree the MI6 are not doing them to experiment on animals, something they can easily do as much as they want by conventional means. Correct. They are doing them to create the impression of bizarre and spine-chilling alien activity and expect them to be interpreted in that way because of the technology used is so spectacular and exotic. In all likelihood, it is retro-engineered ET tech of some kind. The mutilation is intended to be part of a prelude to, you guessed it, a fake alien invasion. You know what? If the animal mutilation phenomenon had began, say, when Linda Moulton Howe first had started investigating in the 70s, I might agree with you. The truth of the matter is it goes back much further than that. I mean, there's reports from the 50s in Wales. But, you know, I can't rule it. Well, I can't rule out that there may be two going on together. In other words, that the MI6 has taken over. Like they do with crop circles, they've taken over a natural phenomenon and used it and decided to sort of pick it up and run with it and amplify it. That's a possibility. And you know what? You might be right here. It could be, and of course they're doing it to humans as well. Yeah. So I think it's. I don't think that's the actual cause of the entire phenomenon, but it could be that the MIC, the military-industrial complex, are, like I say, taking part in it and extending it for that reason. The reason you state a fake alien invasion. Cybian says 2. There were no conceivable reasons for an advanced NHI to perform such bizarre and theatrical mutations on such a scale, with thousands of repetitions, millions, Cybian, millions. I mean, thing is, you've got to realise is that you find dolphins and seals and wild animals, pets, farm animals, every kind of biology affected this way. If anyone thinks such reasons exist, then tell me what they are, and I can provide an easy counter-argument to any and all of them. Well, I'm not sure you can provide a counter-argument to them all, Cybian, but you can. I don't have any really that you can give a counter-argument to. Number 3, reasons 1 makes a lot more sense than reasons 2. Therefore, the MI6 is doing the mutilation. Simple as. No, I don't think it's that simple, Cybian. I think it's a possibility. But like I said, I don't. If that was the case, then we wouldn't have even seen this phenomena at all, ever, until at least the late 70s, and we have. We've seen it before then. So we got to take into account the antiquity of the phenomenon, as with a lot of ET UFO things. So. It's worth looking at David Caton, what he said about it, about his work, about mid to early 20th century examples. There's yaks in the Himalayas that have been affected. They've been found by chance by explorers when otherwise they wouldn't be found at all. You got to ask yourself, why is this being done by people in helicopters high up in the highest mountains in the world to animals which will probably never be found by anyone? So no, it's not as simple as that. New messing with language says humans do it to each other in wartime. No, humans kill each other in wartime, and they hurt each other, they harm each other, injure and kill each other, but they don't drain people's blood and then remove organs with lasers. No, funny enough, Mark Pilkington claimed that Mark Pilkington said that the Americans actually did fake deaths by setting up dead bodies that made them look like they'd been attacked by this thing called the Aswang, this local beast mythological demon. No, it's not humans doing it. So we'll go on to the next one. Okay, so that's and now we have reply to comments 96. This is fun. Why didn't I see this one before? Hang on. There's another comment which Cybian has put here.
Earth Mysteries Monster Crypt.
Okay. Right. My R2C is most definitely a shill, and that is putting it mildly. Among the sponsors listed on 2C TV is Urban Scoop News, which proclaims itself as an impartial news outlet, but seems to be a campaign platform for Tommy Robinson. They even sell their own annotated versions of the Quran. On his Twitter account, MyR2C sings the praises of an organisation called the Sharon Collective. I won't describe the work of this organisation, except to say they are committed to rooting out anti-Semitism, code for silencing criticism of Israel. So much for Tusi's commitment to free speech. Right, Cybian, I didn't know that. I don't necessarily think this makes him a shill. I think people supporting Israel doesn't make them shills. I think anyone who essentially it comes down on the takes a partisan stance in this foreign conflict, I think is misguided. I feel sorry for every innocent person caught up in this, but unlike you and a lot of other people, I don't believe that this conflict has a greater significance regarding geopolitics. I don't. I know that that's not a fashionable idea these days. It's like it's as I said to Rin. Well, if you've seen my interview with Rin, I'll actually be putting it up on this channel in the next couple of weeks. I say to her, it's like being in Merseyside when Liverpool and Everton are in the FA Cup final. Whose side are you on? You have to pick a side. But you see, essentially, this is an ethnic conflict to do with the Holy Land, and I know there's a lot of occult significance there. There's a lot of spiritual significance there. But please do. Have you seen my Israel war live stream and my Israel versus Iran live stream? Because if not, please do watch them, because I do describe it in more detail. I describe my position in more detail there. I think Maya is to be a shill. You see, Maya would have to be being paid specifically to spread lies by an outside organisation. That's the definition of a shill. I think Maya I think he's doing what he believes is right. I think he's saying what he believes is true. Now, I don't personally think he is right in that sense. I don't support the Palestinians either, but at the same time, I don't support Israel, and I don't see why I should. I don't see why anyone should. I'm on the side of all the innocent people caught up in this war, all of them, and I'm against the people doing evil to others, whether they be Israeli or Palestinian. And Maya, you see, it's not unusual for people to be in this position where they take a partisan stance in this conflict. For Maya, I think Maya essentially is a counter-jihadist. He's like this guy, was it Steve Attridge? That David Yorkshire was talking about. Was it David Yorkshire? Yeah, he's a counter-jihadist. He essentially has this vision of a new world order, but for him the new world order is Islam. Other people have a vision of a new world order, but for them the new world order is Israel. So they're. You see, I dispute both theories. I mean, please do watch those two videos I mentioned, my Israel war live stream and my Israel versus Iran live streams. Okay, all right. So thanks for interesting comments, Cybian. Thank you. And now we have Mablethorpe Group. And we have Ivan Kozjedje. I must get back to learning Russian. by the way, Ben, have you ever looked into the Sandown Clown? I couldn't find any trace of you having done so. Well, I think I did it. I think I wrote an article about it on HPANWO Voice, Ivan Koziecie. Let's have a look. Let me just see if I can find it. Hang on a sec. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. I think it's one of these articles. Clowns roaming the streets. Not that one. Creepy clowns return. Where else is there? I think there's a couple of articles where I mentioned. Here we are. Northampton clown update. So there's a couple of articles. Clowns roaming the streets. Creepy clowns return. Let's have a look. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Northampton clown updates. Yeah. So please do check one of those or all of those out. Okay. All right. Alright, here we go. And now we have here Ivan again saying, cool video, thanks. Wish we could see the slides. Alright, yeah, Ivan, sorry about that. I thought about inserting the slides, but then I thought, what's the point? I think they were visible enough for most people to get the idea of what I was on about. So it would have. I didn't have time. I could have delayed the upload another day and just gone through inserting the slides, putting them on little 5-second clips and inserting them. I've got to be honest. I couldn't be bothered. I know that's not very professional of me, but so be it. So be it. I think that is all my. Is that all? I think that is all my BitChute comments now. Let's have a look. I know because I've hearted them all. Yes, it is. Yes, that's all the BitChute ones. Sorry, that's all the. Stop getting it mixed up. That's all the Odyssey ones. So now we go to Rumble. Rumble. What's Rumble saying? Here we go. Right. Notifications on Rumble. Okay, we have Gravity Mirror on Thunderstorm Generator. Gravity Mirror is actually somebody else. I think they introduced themselves to me. I can't remember who it was. There we go. I've got to remember to put a few little, random letters after that. There we go. Gravity Mirror says, right, this is a video here saying, Rumble, Thunderstorm Generator, Complete DIY Guild, Malcolm Bendel's Plasmoid. All right. So I'll check that link later, Gravity. But Gravity says here, I can't make any connection with 0 point energy here. I'm just saying what I see and may have got the wrong end of the stick. They are taking the exhaust gases from a petrol-powered Honda generator and reversing the combustion process by reacting carbon monoxide and steam to recover a small percentage of the fuel as methane or some more complex hydrocarbon. And we have here 2 carbon monoxide, 4 water plus 4 water, plus 2 CH4, whatever that is, and 3 O2, or 2N carbon monoxide, 2N plus 2 water, 2N CNH, I don't know what that is, 2N plus 2, 2N plus 2 O2. That's oxygen. Their process is driven by the heat of the exhaust itself and catalyzed by iron wool. It seems like a purely chemical process. It might be worth doing where there are huge volumes of carbon monoxide being made, like a coal-fired power station. But hydrocarbons are so plentiful and cheap, or would be if we were allowed to trade with Russia. Ooh, a little bit of politics, that I can't see how it would be worth doing, unless I'm missing something. Joe Rogan is right. Okay. I think the reason these experiments are being done now, I think, is for that very purpose, to work out exactly what is going on here. I mean, I myself said this. I said, is there really a 0 point effect here? I said, it seems to be purifying exhaust, but then where are the impurities going? Do they slide out of the side of the machine in a little block? Like in that film, there's a great film called Thunderpants. If you've not seen it, it's a kind of a comedy about this kid who farts a lot, but he has this machine which removes all this solid stuff from it comes out as kind of green powder from his farts. It's a good film if you've not seen it. But so I mean, that's the whole point. I mean, I don't know exactly what's going on here, but you seem to be quite well versed in chemistry, and so you yourself are suspicious. However, I think the whole point of having Randall and Malcolm on Joe Rogan Experience is so they could explain why they think that, why they think otherwise. And what I don't think Joe Rogan, is maybe right in his assessment. This is not what it seems to be, but I think he's wrong not to broadcast the show. Why doesn't he broadcast the show? I mean, he has had many people on his program that are far more speculative than Malcolm Bendel and Randall Carlson. So this I think is still a black mark against him in my view. But hopefully this will be enough experimentation. Will kind of like bring this to a head and bring some explanation at some point. Okay, so we have Matt Mablethorpe Group, and it's Gravity Mirror again. Who says here? I thought so. I thought I knew you. You did explain to me you were somebody else. Hey Ben, I am the same as Sibient Dreams on Odyssey. Hey, I'll call you Gravity Mirror here. I'm not closing down my Odyssey account, but will most likely comment only on Rumble going forward. There are a specific set of reasons for this, but I won't bore people with the details. Anyone who's used both platforms recently and who doesn't have YouTube as their main platform will probably understand the reasons. All right, I mean, I'm not up with sort of Odyssey politics. All I know is that whenever Millennial Woes does one of his live streams, she says, and I'm going live on Odyssey as well, but oh dear, this time next week Odyssey might not be there anymore. And I'm like, oh, shut up, Woes. He's so black-pilled. I mean, I can't. I've had to stop watching him, unfortunately. Anyway, Gravity says, in one of the comment reply videos, you said you thought I was American. I couldn't work out why you thought this because I didn't say so, and I don't really use American idioms anyway. Not anyways. Just to be clear, I'm British and live in the UK. Right, I don't remember saying that. I don't know why I thought that. I can't work it out either, Gravity Mirror, so apologies if I got that wrong. So, Gravity Mirror then says here, show more. Okay. Green Tea comments on video band 10. Okay. Green Tea says here, safe and effective violation. No independent thought allowed. YouTube is self-proclaimed God and you have sinned. Yeah. Or thought about thinking for yourself, which is also a sin. Or even thought about thinking of myself. Yeah. Encouraging others to think for themselves will not be tolerated. Questioning the nonsense of the YouTube God will result in punishment. Yeah, that's pretty much what they're like, I think, Green Tea. In fact, they seem to be particularly averse to comments about particular medical interventions, which is a bit frustrating. They seem to be obsessed with that at the moment. The X series replied to me on UFO Disclosure 2 Paradigms. That's the great video I did with Steve Bassett. Oh, and I've replied to that. So I think that means we've come to the end of. That means we have come to the end of. Yeah. That is now the end of the BitChute comments. Yes. Okay, it's BitChute done. All right, so now we just go back to. I guess we just go back to. We'll go back to YouTube and see what comments I've got since I started making this video. I can't believe this is going to be less than 2 hours. I can't. Oh, blimey. Okay, Steve071. Oh, let's have a go. We go back here. Yeah, there's been a few here. Yeah, just one. Steve071, who says here, Ben, I sent you another comment twice regarding the YouTube channel of Chili John Khan. Both seem to have disappeared. All right. Okay. Steve-O, I'll just check my spam folder. I'm sorry. I don't know why that is. I really don't. But comments do disappear. I've had comments disappear that I've posted, and they just vanish, and it's annoying. It's very annoying when that happens. But that's why it's always best to make copies of them. You can always email them to me. You can make copies and email them if necessary. Let's check my spam folder. No, caught up on everything. Right. Steve, there's nothing in. Steve, I'm sorry. There is nothing in my spam folder from you. I've answered all the questions that I can see on my list that you have posted. So I don't know what happened. I'm very, very sorry that you sent these comments and they've just disappeared. I don't know why that is. Anyway, that's it, guys. Well, that is the end of this particular reply to comments video, number 97. What we're going to do when we get to the big 100, so have some fun. Well, what's my next video going to be? Well, it's not going to be for a while because I'm going to Contact in the desert. This will probably be my last video before I go to Contact, which I'm going next week. But I've got a lot planned for when I come back. Obviously, there will be a reportage of Contact. I'll be doing a reportage of how the conference went, and also I've done another interview with Rin Michaelis, which is on her channel if you want to go and check it out now. But I will be doing my own version of it. I won't edit it in any way, but I'll put in my own introduction and my own assessment afterwards. So that's coming up as well. I'm going to the Basis project in a couple of weeks. That's not long now. I'm going to a lot of conferences actually. I won't be going to the UFO Academy because it's clashing with ASAP, but you know, I'm also going to this Megalithomania Tours conference in Lytham St Anne's. I'm going to loads. I'm basically going to as many as time and money allows. So that's it. I'll be probably away now for about just probably 8 to 10 days or so, and then I'll be back. I'll edit and upload my reportage from Contact as soon as I get back. But in the meantime, I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone stays well while I'm away. I'll try and keep up with you on Facebook if I can, or other social media. But in the meantime, I want to thank everyone who has watched this particular video and for all your comments. All of them. I've really appreciate them all. Been very good. Fewer this time for some reason, probably because I've uploaded less. But it doesn't matter. Quality above quantity every time, I say. Obviously, if it weren't for your comments, then this video wouldn't happen. So, again, couldn't do without you. Many thanks. Thank you all of you for watching, even if you haven't left a comment. And thank you for watching this channel. Thank you for watching HPANWO TV. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order.
Conspiracies, government cover-ups, Earth mysteries, monster cryptids, psyops, saucers and black triangles, HPANWO.